they can on the map. Yeah. Is there anything else that they could do better in the second game to take this match to 3?
Dragon Solar Bust got slightly outplayed in pretty much every position.
Mm.
The area where they got heavily outplayed, I would say, was jungle, but slightly outplayed in every position. And but they did have, they were close, and a lot of these fights were, very small margins. So I'm looking for, it's hard to say, okay, we'll just improve, one rank or something like that.
Yeah,
But take,
right.
in the draft, take champions that are going to enable you to do that. I want to see more
Mm.
comfort picks. I think they really had a plan with their team composition, but it occurs to me that they may have gone with some less comfortable picks to fit into that. So comfort picks are the key here. If Dragon Solar Bust want to match the skill of Casually Reformed.
Well, let's head over to the draft now and see if they do end up with those comfort picks. And they are banning out the Alistar first ban. They want nothing to do with the cow.
Yeah, the Set ban coming out as well. I'm going to look back, and Set actually didn't get banned. Oh, no, it did get banned, but second pick last time. So Set Wukong, same thing. And Nocturne and got banned out as well. So yeah, these are the same bans as last time, potentially focused exactly on individual players, but a little bit odd. We'll see what Dragon Solar Bust decides to take, as they have now switched over to the blue side and get their first pick here. Do they go with the Mordekaiser again? You potentially, it did well in lane, but the Mordekaiser wasn't able to make much happen over the course of the game. So we'll see if that pick does come in through again. No, it is actually the Garen, which, since we are on the live patch, Garen has been buffed indirectly by the Zeal buffs. So that Phantom Dancer going to come through, things like that, and that is, that move speed, 2% move speed is definitely effective. Yeah,
Garen builds Phantom. He builds Zeal. I haven't played Garen in like 7 years, man. Are you serious?
Garen is a very strong champion right now because of these Zeal buffs, and yeah, he goes Phantom Dancer, Trinity Force, Phantom Dancer, and then you go into sort of, potentially into more tank or more damage, But yeah, there's the Gragas as the response. That is going into the jungle, as we do see the Braum come in for support. So the Braum is what Casually Reformed chooses to take. Zero Urge going with that over the Alistar. Now, obviously, Braum not as much of a playmaker as Alistar, and more of a disengage and defensive support, but definitely can be effective.
Ooh, Ekko.
Yeah, Ekko coming in, and it's most likely mid, but it easily could go into the jungle as well. So many flex picks in League right now that it's so interesting, these first stages of the draft. Like even Gragas could potentially be going, doing some kind of top lane shenanigans.
Yeah, and honestly, if Dragon Soul want to take it way back, we could see some Frozen Fist Sunfire Ekko.
top Ekko and mid Garen.
If you really want to take it back.
I remember that time, Kang, and I remember how hard they nerfed it because it was real annoying, that tank Ekko build. I never enjoyed playing against that. And look at that. The Janna is exactly what they go with, even though it's not the Alistar. Modelbrony still choosing to respond to that Braum with the ever powerful Janna. Janna can always fit into a team composition, it seems. And definitely going to be just fine with Ekko and Garen. I like the champions that Dragon Soul are bringing in so far. It strikes me as maybe a little bit closer to two comfort picks, as they are not as standard, but still strong in their lane. And the Gnar is the response to Garen. And so that is going to be rough in the early stages of the game.
Yeah, and I'm pretty surprised that they decided to pick, or they decided not to pick Volibear. You saw in the last game, Volibear was banned out in the second phase of ban.
Yeah, that's true. Yep, the last ban. Yep.
I get this mixed up all the time. Stiffy, rather, may have to play someone other than Volibear again, and we'll see if they try for the Poppy again. It could be the Ekko, but
yeah, it could, that's true. Stiffy may be relegated to a less comfortable pick once again, but yeah, there is still the Volibear available, and so we'll see. I've seen it more so in the top lane, but it can jungle, certainly. And the bans coming through. There's the Malzahar last ban, and the Caitlyn as well banned out. Not interested in laning against that, as we saw even with a kill, Caitlyn, Sassman on Caitlyn was able to do some work in that lane and keep ahead, and they will respond with Tristana and Syndra ban. So they want to play a totally different game this time, and there's a spicy pick. Vayne coming through. Vayne, definitely powerful against something like a Garen, very much able to kite and condemn away from the engage that Garen brings with that move speed.
Yeah, and if she decides to go crit over the on hit, she does benefit from the Zeal buffs. So
yeah, you'd think that potentially there would be a Phantom Dancer in that on hit build anyway, with the buffs. But the response, speaking of on hit, is Varus, and so this Varus, when I look at Casually Reformed's team, I'm assuming it is on hit Varus because you've got Braum and Gnar, and even Gragas. It's just doesn't. It doesn't feel like lethality Varus is right here, especially because they do lack a bit of scaling. Though Vel'Koz definitely does help with that. Vel'Koz very, very strong in the late game. And the Vel'Koz mid, by the way, just so powerful if it's used by a capable mid laner, which Heartstopper certainly is. So there's the Sylas in response, and Vel'Koz. It's a very difficult pick, but it can be a counter to the Sylas if it's played correctly.
Question about the Sylas. Sorry, Kang. I'm always learning about Sylas and which ults he steals and how it works.
Yeah.
If he takes Ekko's ult, does he get a little Sylas ghost following him around and then he gets to jump back to him?
I think it's a Sylas model. I thought it would have been an Ekko model.
It's just an Ekko mod. Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
It doesn't look like Sylas. It looks like Ekko, but
it's
he does get it trailing.
Yeah,
but still, very. I mean, it's a very, very, very cool champion. Sorry, Kang, what were you gonna say?
Oh yeah, Sylas is definitely one of Royal's favorite champions. I would say he plays a lot of Sylas. It fits into his playstyle, which is play a lot of roaming champions, but somehow still carry through pure damage. Sylas fits the bill pretty well. Like, he can roam a lot. He has a lot of roaming potential, a lot of pick potential, but at the same time, he can hold his own in the lane, despite being melee champion. So,
yep,
excited to see that here.
Yeah, before we go to our break, who do you guys think won this draft?
It's kind of a weird draft, honestly, in general. Some non-standard picks, as a lot of stuff was getting banned out that had been played before. I like the option of Janna, and I like the Garen pick. I think it's strong. I don't know exactly how strong, but I'm gonna give the draft to Dragon Soul. And nope, I'm changing it. I didn't take my hand off the card, Darren. I'm gonna give it to Casually Reformed. I think Gragas basically does a better job in the jungle, and I think that the lanes are going to be just fine with that Braum coming in. So I'm gonna give this one to Casually Reformed for draft.
Yeah, I also give it to Casually Reformed. I think that Dragon Soul are kind of split in what they want to do. Varus, Vel'Koz, pretty long range. You want to keep them safe. But Garen and Ekko are champions that only really do well when you're engaging and going ham, right? So there's a little bit of a disconnect there in what these champions want to fulfill. On the other side, you have Vayne, Sylas, and Gragas, who are all champions that do well when they're running in and engaging. And Braum and Gnar complement that because they could easily follow up with Braum safeguard. Wait, no, that's Lee Sin. Braum's jump thing.
It's the same thing, really. Pretty much.
Yeah, same spell.
Yeah. You click on champion, you jump to them. That's it.
And Braum and Gnar can follow up with their ultis. So in terms of play style, Casually Reformed are more unified in at least around team fights. In macro play and just general laning, I would say that Dragon Soul have the edge, but if we're strictly talking about team fights, Casually Informed definitely have the upper hand because of how their champions interact with each other, in my opinion.
All right. Well, we will see if Dragon Soul can take the win or if they will bust tonight right after our break to keep our competitive integrity. Don't go anywhere.
Okay, and I believe you probably could hear me that entire time, but we are back, and we just needed to do a little bit of logistical setup here for the game. So this is going to be game 2 of Dragon Soul or Bust versus Casually Reformed. Now, Casually Reformed has already taken the first game here in pretty dominant fashion by the end there. And so we are going to see if Dragon Soul or Bust can come back. And it's all about honor for Dragon Soul or Bust. They are locked into 4th place. They are locked into playoffs. Casually Reformed, meanwhile, has a lot more riding on this game as they can give themselves the opportunity to get a higher rank. And here is Zero Urge now. Braum very strong in these situations. The flash coming in from Sassman. And so, yeah, that is going to be very... that's going to be definitely something to look out for, is that Varus without a flash. And actually, Casually Reformed is sticking around here, and we'll see if they are going to be able to continue with this invade as they are outnumbering. Yes, Sassman needs to get out of here, and yeah, they're going to see them and just back right off. Now, this time the slow actually misses, and so they are going to have control of this red buff, and actually, DSB was not able to leave a ward on the red buff pit, and so they're going to be able to steal this without even any knowledge from Dragon Soul or Bust of whether or not it's being stolen. So Modelbrony expressing her discontent with that particular play, as we are seeing just standard situations besides that, as Six and Stiffy now forced to start at the blue buff, and this jungling gentleman is going vertical here as Ekko now approaching that red buff on the top side of Casually Reformed.
Yeah, pretty good intuition there. I mean, they didn't get a ward on it, but you could probably infer, due to how late that invade was, that they would try to steal it. And if they don't, then he just gets a free double buff, because I don't think Gragas can get there in time if he decides to go back to their blue engage. So
yeah, so it is going to be just traded out buffs, but we'll see. Now, Gragas has a slightly faster clear speed at this point in the game than Ekko, but Stiffy is choosing to do counter jungling while JaDe is actually just taking his own camps. So this trade actually ends up favoring Stiffy in the end. Now, quite a bit of damage. You see that Vel'Koz strong in the early game. Yeah, Raptor's going to be taken here, and yeah, this is just a straight-up win, unless if JaDe can somehow find a way to get efficient pathing into the enemy jungle. But now, yeah, you can see him already now going towards the Krugs, and actually, that is where JaDe is headed next. So, no, JaDe gonna check the Raptors as well. Now JaDe not even gonna go there. This is so huge. I love this as a jungler. I love to watch this play. Really, really good work from 6-inch Stiffy, and JaDe did not go into the correct position. So now JaDe is going to get that Scuttle Crab, but his entire top jungle is gone. And unless he goes in, no, he's not going to go into the top side jungle of his enemy, and so instead going to go for a gank. So yeah, the farm is going to be highly in favor of Dragon Soul or Bust here for the jungler.
Ooh, deciding to go in for an extra combo there. Nothing much though.
Yeah, indeed, not much to write home about there. As you can already see, actually, since Gragas has the faster clear speed, and they both have been pretty much farming the entire time, it is still going to be the CS lead for Gragas, but going to be overtaken by Ekko soon when he does the rest of this clear. First dragon spawning is going to be the Ocean Drake.
I didn't see, but either he didn't start with Doran's Blade or he sold it for the Vamp Scepter. So,
This is Varus. Oh, I didn't see either. Yeah, oh, that's actually a flash has to come in from Heartstopper there. So Heartstopper was exerting some pressure over this lane, but now with Sylas having returned, going to be able to blow that flash in exchange for his Ignite. So,
yeah,
the power of
you could
Sylas there.
You could argue that Vamp Scepter is a glorified Doran's Blade.
So he didn't start with Doran's Blade, and you can tell because he's got a potion. He's got a refillable potion. And so that means he started with the longsword and potion, if I'm not mistaken.
I think he bought that with the Vamp Scepter, though.
It would be
you're right.
It has to be, because there's no way he'd sell the Doran's Blade.
Yeah,
so yeah, he's going.
Yeah, he went longsword pots. Yeah,
longsword pots. So yeah, so that's a cool start because it allows him to get to that Blade of the Ruined King faster, and that is actually the ultimate stolen, but not going to get a kill there for Royal. Pardon me. And they are going to use that pressure though, as mid priority is full control of Casually Reformed, and they are going to get that dragon. No steal going to come through. But you can see the Garen still able to push in. Sean has been low HP every time we've scrolled up to this area of the map. Oh, and there's the flash coming in. jasonsensationz has ult, but not able to get there. You don't have that zeal quite yet, and the flash for flash traded, so that is going to be the wave pushed in by jasonsensationz, and that's it's nice work by him so far to get so much damage, but yeah, just shy of that kill, and that's really unfortunate as he had to use both Ignite and Flash, but he's going to get a plate for his troubles. And now we'll recall with quite a bit more gold, and Sean, who was, however, able to buy that Phage, very, very strong into this melee matchup.
I want to talk about the summoner spells in the bot lane. Sassman with the exhaust and Modelbrony with the heal. That's opposite of what we would normally see in a traditional bot lane. Why do you guys think that is?
I think it's a mistake.
Cool.
I don't see any particular reason for Varus to be carrying exhaust here, unless if Kang can shed some more light on that. I think they just switched around by accident.
You know, I actually think that it's slightly more optimal, but you have to have a lot of trust. And the reason I would say that is because when you're running exhaust on a support, the only time you would ever use it is if you're peeling for your AD anyways. So if you have it on your AD, you'll always have an exhaust up when it's up. Heal affects both laners, so if the support takes it, then it doesn't matter who it's on as long as you have it, right?
Yeah, I see what you mean, where, you know, if Varus is trying to split push, we'll talk about that later, as Stiffy is going to get a gank here, and yeah, first blood coming in easily for Dragon Solar Bust there, a nice gank, and yeah, finally the pressure coming in from that Garen is realized in a gank. You can see a level lead at the bot lane, and not in a position to use their ults here. A decent wave state here for Dragon Solar Bust, actually. But a significant farm lead for the Vayne, and that's not generally what you'd expect in a Vayne versus Varus lane. We did mention the strength of that Braum, and perhaps that is the tipping point there for that, for what's going on down there, but definitely Varus a strong laner, and generally shouldn't be losing in farm to a Vayne, but the strength of Zero Urge once again on display there. So Jason...
I think Hail of Blades is probably what did it. Hail of Blades is something you take if you want to win lane. And go for those earlier trades in exchange for the later scaling of lethal tempo, which does effectively the same thing.
Yeah, Hail of Blades, of course, it just gets Vayne's passive popped immediately every time you go in when it's up. So that's it's good on Vayne, but yeah, like you said, lethal tempo, more focused to late game. They knew they were against Varus Janna, a strong lane, and so you go with the Hail of Blades. That's a good shout. I think it's a good idea.
Yeah, and to be fair, sorry.
Yeah, you go ahead.
Okay, to be fair, yeah, Lethal Tempo is more late focused, but it's also backloaded, whereas Hail of Blades is more front-loaded in where
Sure.
the damage is coming from. And when
Hang
you're
on,
playing,
here's an engage. Heartstopper having to flash away again, but actually, yeah, Heartstopper just getting out of that,
Yeah.
no problem. But that is the flash down. So that was a gank coming in from Sean, actually, being able to roam down there. But still, Heartstopper is evading ganks, and still, Heartstopper is maintaining a farm lead against this lane bully of Sylas. So really nice work coming in. Now here's Royal again, and as I say that, Royal going to be able to get some good damage, but the ultimate comes down, and look at that, the double Vel'Koz ultimate, but JaDe coming in with the clutch barrel, managing to return back that kill. That's really funny to see. Just 2 Vel'Koz ultimates, no gameplay involved there. Just put your ultimate on him and hope you outdamage him.
That was the most Dragon Ball Z thing I've ever seen.
Just 2 creatures just like vomiting at each other into the void. Just, man, exciting stuff.
I'm going to take it even beyond. As, yeah, that definitely was an anime matchup right there. But the victor actually ended up being Heartstopper, though JaDe was able to return the favor there with a nice barrel. So yeah, you still do see the farm lead coming in the solo lanes for Dragon Solar Bust. This is generally looking much better for them, though one dragon has already been taken by Casually Reformed. They're setting up for the second one, which is the Cloud Drake, and we'll see who is able to take this fight. A level lead for the bot lane of Casually Reformed, which is definitely non-trivial in this particular situation, but everybody has their ultimates available, and they are going to start the fight. It's Stiffy now kind of walking over a ward. They don't have any sweeper available or aren't willing to use it. Yeah, no sweeper available, so they don't know they're in full vision, but Casually Reformed still not really interested in this fight since they do have lots of vision on the dragon itself, and it is too dangerous for DSB to clear that out.
Now
Both teams starting to posture.
That right there, what just happened in the bot lane, we talked about this off stream a bit. The Janna pick into the Braum, at least in lane, was very confusing because the Braum just puts up that shield and stops the Janna. You know, the Zephyr doesn't do much, and then the Q also doesn't do much, right? Because it just knocks up Braum. Well, you're not going to kill Braum that quickly.
Hang on, here's Stiffy getting caught out. The ultimate did go down, and Stiffy does not have flash available, but actually there's Heartstopper from the other side. Is Stiffy going to get away? No, JaDe once again with the barrel sniped out. A lot of damage coming in now from Sassman, but not quite enough. That lethality build would have done the damage there, but now a re-engage from Royal. Now Royal's going to take out Sassman, who just stepped too far, got too greedy for that kill. And yeah, that's once again JaDe coming in and finishing off the kill, where Stiffy almost looked like he was going to make a Houdini-style escape there from the jaws of defeat. But JaDe says, no way. We're not letting you get away this time. And once again, Stiffy goes down. So that is going to be the second dragon now coming through for Casually Reformed. Still a gold lead maintained by Dragon Solar Bust, but it is 2 dragons, and the Mountain Soul now going to be the one that is on the rift here.
This series is proving to be pretty intense.
Yeah, a little spicier than we expected, maybe.
A lot of emphasis being put on Dragon, though. Yeah, go ahead.
I was just going to say, we're still seeing a gold lead on the side of Dragon Solar Bust. I mean, they are down those two dragons.
The first turret was what happened. And of course, Dragon doesn't really provide any gold. It's like a 25 gold execute or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, the gold lead, and you know, it looks almost like Casually Reformed has control of this map, but actually that top lane matchup is going heavily in favor of the Garen. Having already completed that Trinity Force, you can see how Sean is sitting there waiting, and yeah, Sean is waiting just for that Kindle gem, where Garen has already completed the most expensive item in the game, or one of them. I can't remember if Death Cap is more expensive.
I think it is still
Yeah,
the
Chad,
most
you can
expensive.
flame me if I'm wrong, but I think Trinity Force is the most expensive in it, and yeah, that so
Is it? Wait a minute.
Garen has already completed that as well as those Berserker's Greaves, so just so impossible for Sean to deal with this in lane, and this Garen it might be the key to success for Dragon Soul or Bust, because it's going to be so hard for anybody to deal with Jason here. Kang, are you doing some research here? Are you looking that up?
Doing some
That's good. I knew I could count on
reconnaissance
you.
right now. Yes.
Trinity Force was like historically the most expensive item.
Yeah, definitely. But I think last year or sometime around then, they actually reduced the cost.
Yeah, there was a time I think when Deathcap was more expensive, but I'm not sure now if that is still the case. Meanwhile, we do still see. So actually, Sassman has already completed that
Probably
Blade of
does.
the Ruined King. It looks like Grim will be able to complete it, just hasn't recalled yet. And yeah, you can see just how powerful Jason is, how little threat Gnar poses to him right now. And Sassman looks like they might be baited in here because JaDe is waiting in the wings. And yeah, here's JaDe with the ultimate. Then the flash coming in from Modelbrony, the ultimate as well. And yeah, JaDe on the killing spree does finish that off. A good try from Modelbrony, but was not able to avoid the damage. And yeah, Gragas, having finished off a bunch of these kills already, now has been able to build up a good amount of ability power for himself. And Modelbrony not able to deal with that damage. So JasonSensationz, meanwhile, still exerting pressure over the entire top side of the map here.
Whew, maybe they should start giving every champion 30 HP if Jade's gonna blow him up like that.
Yeah, I know. That is that definitely is the power of Gragas. If you manage to finish off a few kills, a lot of burst able to come through there. So still, like you said, Kang, earlier, lots of focus on the Dragon and almost none on the Rift Herald. It seems to be an afterthought. Even last game when it was just sort of like ignored and Dragon Solar Bust just ended up taking it because Casually Reformed didn't really care about it. And also didn't make much use of it. So there's the ultimate coming in, and actually they're going for this again. JaDe has ultimate up once again, but Sassman... No, actually, JaDe didn't quite have the ultimate available, so they were just going for that. Now Heartstopper's way behind enemy lines here, but Jason, the cavalry has arrived, and that is going to blow the flash coming in from Royal there. And they are going to push down this turret. That's Jason going to be able to get that Demolish proc, and that is going to take it out. Yeah, so... Yeah, lovely work there, and this is still a gold lead, even though the kills are going quite in favor of Casually Reformed. Still a gold lead being maintained for DSB on the back of JasonSensationz, having so much pressure. Let's see if Stiffy can get anything done here. Oh, he flashed in, and Stiffy not even able to ult, but with all that crowd control coming in. Now Heartstopper has shown up, but it's too late. His companion has already gone down, so now the teleport coming in as well as Royal now being able to gank. There's no turret available for them anymore, and a really nice knockup coming in, but Grim, the only one available to take down, and they aren't able to get that, the heal blown. So that is going to be another fight in the favor of Casually Reformed. And now Jason, he's like, guys, I'm still pushing. Everything okay down there? But everything is definitely not okay.
Well, Dragon was spawning, but everybody decides to back.
Yeah, Jade's still around, so maybe they'll take it anyway.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know if you guys saw that in that fight. I'm just obsessing over Sylas, and Royal is playing him so well this game, picking up the Janna ultimate and stopping the Vel'Koz ultimate right after it started. Heartstopper would have had a kill there. I forget which member of
it was Grim who was very low. Yeah,
would have had a kill if not for Sylas having that Janna.
Yeah, the AP scaling on that ultimate is really, really high as well. So stealing a healing ultimate like that when Sylas gets to steal Soraka or Janna ultimate, the healing is so nuts because you're just scaling up so much more than either of those champions would with ability power. So it is just really, really ridiculous to steal that ultimate. And yeah, that was a nice choice there coming in from Royal, because as you said, Grim would have gone down without it.
Okay, so 5 years later, Trinity Force is the most expensive item in the game.
Hey, Kang coming through.
I'm glad you spent so much time on that, Kang.
I was surfing the wiki, didn't come up with much, so I decided, you know what, I'll just open up the client. And,
oh, I could have maybe checked myself. I'm spectating this game right now, but anyway, Jason, you can see the actually the ultimate comes through, and Braum ultimate gonna come down. Gragas as well with a huge disengage, and once again, but there is the ultimate coming in from Vel'Koz. So much damage coming in, but Sean going with so much damage as well. Unbelievable. Jason, the only one left alive, and will Jason be able to do this 2v1? About to get that Q back up, but no, so much damage. I can't say it enough. Coming in, the quadra kill from Royal. The tanky bruisers with ability power damage are his specialty, and he shows us exactly why in that fight.
Man, that was actually really close considering.
Yeah, huge amounts of damage coming out from Heartstopper as well with that ultimate, and it was the right combo. It was just Royal being able to, you know, return so much and heal so much, and, you know, basically be a tank even though he's full damage there. So definitely going to need some grievous wounds on the side of Dragon Solar Bust if they want to really deal with the Sylas, who's now 6-1-3.
6-1-3, 5 stacks already on Rod of Ages. It's gonna be a beefy boy. He's got Mountain Dragon already, and that helps. You know, even if he doesn't build a lot of armor himself, just the 5% of, I think at this point he would have around 70 armor. So even like, if you think about it, it's only like what, 4 armor and magic resist, but that could potentially be 100 health, or in terms of damage reduction. So
yeah, exactly, because of course, any resistances are more effective the more health you have, and of course with that with that Rod of Ages, which actually is not completely standard on Sylas. We definitely. When you see the Sylas picked, you often go for the Proto Belt Rush in order to get just a little bit more burst, a little bit more utility. Now JasonSensationz having to do a 2v1, and Royal the one who can face him down. JasonSensationz, just to get out of there. And it's the Phantom Dancer coming deep with the speed, but there's JaDe with the Predator, and Predator beats Phantom Dancer, even with the buffs. So that is going to be JaDe taking down Jason, and this Garen. But here's a flash coming in from Royal, not stopping at all. Heartstopper going to go down, and that is Royal. And once again, we see Royal just taking over this game as he has so many times before, and he is their path to victory in so many different situations. So on this Sylas, we can see how powerful Royal can become. Now you see that Lich Bane completed there, so a lot of burst damage going to be coming out of that Sylas.
Yeah, and Vel'Koz opting to build Deathcap's second item.
No, it's not right, not good. But actually, Sassman coming in here, and a lot of burst coming in. Now Royal, Sassman's like not interested in that at all. But that's a nice pick coming out onto Sean there. And we need to remind ourselves that Varus scales up really well with this on-hit build, just as well as Vayne in a lot of cases because of the range. But Stiffy now being bullied completely out of his own jungle. And will Stiffy finally be able to cast his ultimate? No, actually, he flashes away. But we have seen Stiffy killed before the ultimate can be cast so many times before. And now here comes Heartstopper, going to try to do something about this red buff steal, but not going to be able to. As Casual Reform just exerting so much control over this bottom side.
Question about Ekko there. As you said, we've seen him get stunned, get CC'd before, for as long as it takes to kill him before he can use his ultimate. Does he switch out his Sork boots for Merc Treads?
I've scarcely ever seen that. It's not enough value, basically. There is theory behind what you're saying, but it is not. If you would do the math, I would imagine that would not pay off enough times for it to ever be worth it. You know, maybe if you're against like full AP or something. But Vel'Koz doing true damage and stuff. Mercury Treads just aren't aren't valuable enough. Now Modelbrony recalling and not a good spot at all, as Stiffy had to use his ultimate there, but not at all effective. And yeah, whenever Royal shows up, that area of the map is just ceded control by DSB, as they just have no answer for this hyper-fed Sylas.
Yeah, and to elaborate on the Mercury Treads point, Gragas and Braum both have knockups, which are unaffected by tenacity, I believe. So
yeah, so tenacity isn't going to help in a lot of these cases anyway. That's also a good point. But yeah, you need that magic penetration anyway against the likes of Gnar and Sylas, where just that little bit of magic penetration can really go a long way to take down that base magic resist that these champions have. Not having to build any additional magic resist so far, as neither of the magic dealing champions are threatening enough yet. But there's Modelbrony clearing at a ward, and this is soul point already at 25 minutes. So we'll see if DSB can come out with a miracle steal. They kind of need one, because Mountain Soul would be almost game over for Dragon Soul or bust. And this is going down fast to the Vayne damage, but DSB is going to contest. Here is the fight coming through. Actually, a big amount of damage, but the fight coming out top lane as well. We'll keep an eye on that, as continuing to do the poke. And look at that poke coming through. Vel'Koz with so much damage coming out before the fight even starts. And this is also the Vel'Koz ultimate. Red team does take down the dragon, so that is going to be the Dragon Soul, but at what cost? Double kill coming through. And you can see without Royal, Casually Reformed does not have the resources to deal with these late game scaling poke champions on the side of DSB. That was a really, really well played fight there coming in, and Vel'Koz now showing how powerful he can become. Jason now going to fight against Royal, and the Ignite goes down, so Royal won't be able to heal up just yet, but they both have ultimate available. That is going to be JasonSensationz winning the team fight. 1,000 gold for that shutdown, and this looks like it's going in the favor of Dragon Soul or bust.
Phantom Dancer, baby!
The turret as well going down, and now it is going to be the Baron take here. Modelbrony casting the ultimate just to keep them topped up, and this Baron is going down. It is not going down that fast, though, and they might actually have to pull off here if JaDe is able to get there in time. Does have the Predator available, and here's JasonSensationz. They are going to stick on it, and they are going to get so close. Yes, they are going to secure it, as JaDe did go in and now has to flash out. Look at Grim going in so far, way too far actually, and Stiffy using the ultimate to get out. Dragon Soul or bust to flip the switch.
They definitely have. I mean, they're making a lot of these plays off the back of JasonSensationz being able to split push and draw a lot of pressure, and I think that has really been a boon to them, because JasonSensationz just being in the top lane alone creates a lot of pressure and can really bring chaos into the comms of Casually Reformed. They'll be like, oh, there's a Garen topside, what do we do? And
yeah,
if you're not really well trained in these situations, you'll have instances where two players will have a different idea of what to do. So just splitting is making it better. Just splitting is making it easier for Dragon Soul or bust to make plays.
Yeah, it's getting Casually Reformed into a mindset that affects the way they play potentially, and the fact that Garen can solo out that Sylas with no magic resist. When that fight happened, JasonSensationz had not a single point of bonus magic resist built in his items. So now actually the flash comes in, and there's JaDe actually managing to blow 2 flashes there. But yeah, you know, that should be terrifying for Casually Reformed, that this Garen is able to do that. And so now they have Gnar matching, who's even less well equipped to deal with the Garen here. But the Garen, meanwhile, has gone towards the bottom side. Now may have bitten off a little more than he could chew, as the Vayne is the one you want to send to deal with him and JasonSensationz. Yeah, but he is going to use that Phantom Dancer and that Q speed to get right out of there, and Vayne not even able to catch up. So still, JasonSensationz able to create pressure, as Stiffy now the one going to be split pushing, and will Sean be able to do anything here? 2 levels up Lots of damage available. Now the Mega Gnar, and actually Stiffy has to ultimate into way into no man's land, and actually may use this ultimate to take down the inhibitor here. It is going to be very close, but looks like Stiffy may be able to do this. A lot of crowd control coming down. Stiffy does manage to take it down with the help of the minions, and he's going to go down for his troubles, but that is fully worth it in the side of DSB. Even with the Mountain Soul, they are still able to exert enough pressure. Now they're going to focus on towards that mid lane, but it is 5v4 here in the favor of Casually Reformed, so they may have to back off of this push.
Now I imagine the Dragon Soul is obviously very powerful, but against a team like this that is late game poke comp, is it less effective?
So they've got Varus, which is not less effective against Vel'Koz. It is very effective. Vel'Koz is a burst champion, so basically Mountain Soul is a shield that you get on top of your health, and once it breaks, it's gone. And so in a long drawn out team fight, it's not making that much of a difference. But in against burst and poke, it actually is very effective. Now Varus, I wouldn't call a poke champion at this point. You can see that sustained damage. Look at them catch up with Royal. No chance at all. And there's a big ultimate coming in from the Gnar, but the Janna ultimate will go down. They're able to peel. Jasonsensationz way in the backline already has taken down Sean. This is a huge team fight coming in. The Gragas ultimate not doing enough, and actually Vayne able to kite back really nicely though. And so it will just be a 1-4-3. And so we'll see if Vayne is able to continue to stay safe in these team fights, because you can see Vayne is able to kill the Garen, even with all of that gold built up, and even with that with those items completed. But 2 inhibitors now down, and Dragon Solar Bust looking for a 3rd inhibitor here, and that is going to be very, very difficult to deal with.
What a turn of events, man. This is so exciting. You don't see these kind of comebacks very often, knock on wood. I mean, the game's not over yet. But just like really well played overall. I mean, again, like you said, the Jasonsensationz on that Garen, he's so scary. They need an answer to it.
Yeah, they've just been able to leverage that pressure so well. Like you said, it is a lot off the back of him, but they are using a fed bruiser exactly the way they need to. However, Stiffy may have gotten a little bit too far here and not going to be able to use the ultimate, or not going to be interested in using the ultimate. And that is the jungler down for 40 seconds as the Elder Dragon is about to spawn. So just as it looked like it was so good for Dragon Solar Bust, they have now given a huge advantage over towards Casually Reformed. Now it looks like a fight may start, and Heartstopper is in a good position here to do a lot of damage, and a lot of damage is done, but Heartstopper actually does go down, and so does Jasonsensationz, and that almost feels like it's going to be the end. The only boon they have is that their super minions streaming into their base as this Elder Dragon goes down, and Baron will spawn in a few seconds as well, so potentially they will have to be defending their base as the Baron goes down. Hang on a sec, Sassman. What are you doing? What in God's name was that?
Looked like he was going for that spicy Elder Dragon Steel, and if nothing else, distracting while their 2 Nexus turrets went down.
I guess trying to stop the recalls is the logic there, but it just did not work at all. So they did lose both towers, and now not a single structure besides the Nexus is up or Casually Reformed, and yet somehow it feels like they have the advantage in this game. Since Garen builds attack speed, there is definite backdoor potential for Jasonsensationz. He can move very quickly across the map and can do a lot of damage with the Sheen and the Phantom Dancer to that turret, but this Baron take is just desperate at best. They don't have Varus available. Stiffy has already been taken down. They have almost no damage on the Baron, and Modelbrony might go down here. Here's Jason coming in. Oh! Coming in! JaDe coming through with a huge ultimate, and that might have sealed the deal right there. The only thing is these inhibitors are still down, and so they can't do a lot with the kills that they're getting. Dragon Solar Bust was able to put themselves into a very forgiving spot here in this game.
Yeah, and honestly, I mean,
what do you even say?
Exactly. Like, I don't know.
If I could say something,
Yeah, go ahead.
it seems to me that taking that Baron for Dragon Soul or Bust without Garen there to tank it, they have no one to really take the damage of that. I mean, obviously they were trying to take it with an Ekko and a Janna. Like
Yeah,
it wasn't going to work.
Yeah, that was a case of like Sasman being like, okay, start it, I'll be there soon, because you can tank it just fine with Ekko and Janna. You need Varus to do the damage, and now here he is. So now they are going to go with this, and yeah, Modelbrony going to be tanking up with the shield, and here's Stiffy now coming in. Now they are 5 strong for this Baron take. And the about half health here, and actually JaDe the only one available, so he's going to go for the 50-50, and we'll see if Jason is able to flash over and get the silence down. The blue team has slain it. That is Heartstopper getting the secure there, and also the shutdown onto JaDe. And so now they're going to be able to use this Baron buff to continue to push down the inhibitors. And remember, there's no turrets left, so all they have to do is just rush the Nexus and try to get as many hits as they can onto it. Only one inhibitor has spawned so far, and those other 2 soon to follow, but not soon enough perhaps, as they are going to keep pushing. Royal has been relegated to taking down super minions at the bottom lane, so we'll see if this fight comes through. JaDe still has 26 seconds, and so potentially you want to go for a fight engage here with the 5v4 advantage. We'll see if they're able to do that as posturing continues, and they're not exactly sure how they want to engage here. You're looking for something like a Varus flash ult, but that ultimate actually is one spell that is not available for Dragon Soul or Bust. So they are just slowly using these waves to get closer and closer, using that cannon to get the health down, but JaDe has respawned. And that's a huge amount of poke actually coming in there onto Modelbrony. Very, very squishy champion there, but the super minion continuing to do its work, and all they're doing is defending this. Now here's Sean with the flash, gets 2 very squishy champions, and will the damage coming back be enough? Royal has already taken down Janna, but Jason is in the back line. Now there is another kill going down onto jasonsensationz, and Grim is going to pop off here. Look at one auto attack there. That's a beautiful flash E coming in from the Gragas, and more kills coming through. Triple kill coming through from Grim, and this is what they need. Vayne to be able to have free reign in these team fights.
Yeah, definitely huge, and JaDe with the massive ulti, interrupting the Vel'Koz, what looked to be an excellent Vel'Koz ulti, knocking them away, interrupting the laser, and I think the MVP of that fight was JaDe, because that would have been huge.
Yeah, that flash knock up at the end there to catch out to catch out Sasman as well, really clutch. So yeah, JaDe, beautiful work, saving them for another day, and the inhibitors have respawned. So now, even though DSB has so many structures taken down, they have to win a team fight in order to make use of the control they gained there. Unless if they want to go for something like a backdoor, which they'd have to do 2, because they have to get an inhibitor and then probably go back and then go get the Nexus. It's a really, really tough spot for them. And you know, they did so well in the mid to late game where they were using jasonsensationz's pressure, but now that Jason is able to be faced down by that Vayne, they have another issue on their hands. And you gotta wonder, this looks like it is going to be the Sterix Gauge, you gotta wonder if Thornmail would be better. Now Jason already gonna get taken solo, and Heartstopper already going down. This might be the end here, as Stiffy not able to do anything in that fight at all. Modelbrony slowed up and going to get the knock up through, but it's 2v5 here, and I don't know how they can defend this. What they have to do is use their structures to defend it until their team can respawn. That's 30 to 40 seconds away.
I don't know what they do here. I mean,
yeah, it's just a question of can they hold, and this would be a heroic play for Sasman and Modelbrony to do this. The ultimate not available there for Sasman, and yeah, will get jumped on. JaDe so much burst, and already the kill has gone down, and it looks like that's going to be it. Not enough time, and even with such a huge comeback attempt from DSB, Casually Reformed still takes the series. Beautiful work there by Casually Reformed to hold their ground when all of their structures were down, when their base was in rubble, and find the win in the 2-0